Hi, welcome back. It's been a while since we last had a chance to talk, but this is Marji's Mic again.
Hi, everybody. Margie here, talking with Kobe.
And this episode, we know it's getting close to the holidays, but this time we're sitting around in a very friendly place, and Margie wants to tell us a story of the story about her past and one of the most inspirational people in her life.
Yeah, okay. So, quote, "Hey, Margie, over here." I turned to see my friend Jackie looking as lovely as ever with a bouquet of yellow roses adorning her arm. The new Smyrna Beach Airport is a small one just about 3 miles north of the small city of New Smyrna Beach, Florida. She said, "Bill and some other folks are waiting at his house. He's very excited to see you again." I'm happy too. This will be so much fun for me. Life has been pretty dull around here lately. There was a swelling in my heart. Pretty dull for me too, Jackie. You would think there would be all kinds of challenges and talented folks to hang with in Houston, but it's just not the same without the perfect accompanist. Jackie got pretty quiet as she navigated the Land Rover through the gate of the country club. "I hope you can get Bill to play again. I honestly never thought I would see the day when he lost interest in playing the piano. At least he is still working on his books." The door to the mid century modern brick home flew open, and there was my old friend grinning ear to ear. "So great to see you. Are you still drinking white wine?" he asked as he led me to the bar outside by the enclosed pool. "Actually, I prefer red these days, a Cabernet if you had one." All of a sudden, I was startled to see an entourage led by his kids and grandkids. Bringing up the rear was Paul Schaefer and Bill's oldest son, Will, with bass guitar in hand. They waved at me as they set up their gear in the library, replete with the gold records lining the hallway, just like in San Antonio. It was comforting to see the same old Steinway that Bill and I had practiced on in San Antonio, surrounded by the thousands of books lining the walls. What a thrill this will be, I thought, just to hang with the folks who really get me, even if it's just for a long weekend. The next day, as everyone slept in, I took a long walk through the lush tropical neighborhood. Bill was ready to discuss his concerns regarding publishing with me when I returned. This was fine with me because I had no interest in watching football with the rest of the group. "I want your advice, Margie. I've been given an autobiography directly from the family of a famous composer, but I can't locate them now and to get written permission to publish it. It's an inspiring tale. His name is Gerald Marks. The reason I think it's inspiring is because he wrote over 1,000 nondescript songs before he had his super hit All of Me in 1931. Just goes to show you that perseverance saves the day again." At breakfast that Sunday morning, I noticed Bill's hands were shaking. "Did you have a good time this weekend, Margie?" "Oh, yes, it was the best ever. I will treasure it forever." I could sense how much he wanted to avoid a mushy scene, so I defaulted to my sense of humor to lighten the mood. "In fact, Bill, I feel like I've been to an exclusive jazz camp. But thank goodness you didn't send me to the principal's office." His blue eyes shone, and we shared a chuckle. "Let me ask your opinion about a couple of other things, okay?" he said. "Sure, what is it?" "Well, as you look around this room, and it's not news to you, I have acquired quite a collection of books on music during my academic career. Technical, historical, biographies. At last count, there were over 5,000. My quandary is how to catalog them and which one or ones do I give them to." Now, I heard this concern before in casual conversation, but this time the urgency in his voice was almost palpable. "Hmm. Let me ponder this for a minute, okay?" I said. "I think I have an idea, Bill. Why don't you gift your entire collection to your college alma mater in Texas? I'm sure they'll make good use of them, and future students will certainly benefit as well." His blue eyes lit up and replied, "That's the perfect solution, thank you." "Now make sure you come back real soon, okay?" "Absolutely," I replied, "I will. You are my musical connection. There's no severing that connection." I didn't have the courage to look at him waving from the driveway as Jackie and I pulled away toward the little airport. Boy, oh boy, this is early, I thought. That's why this flight is such a bargain. 2 hours into it, I thought I may be able to go back to sleep because my limbs felt like lead. Meditation and deep breathing has worked on planes all over the world for me, but it failed me this wintry morning. I stared at the moon through the window of the plane with an odd feeling. I was not quite sure what the overriding feeling was. Just tired, I mused. It was an intense weekend after all, full of focus and rich food. I stumbled through the airport in Atlanta, and the heaviness in my limbs shifted to complete numbness. In the distance, as I rode a long escalator to the ground floor of the terminal, I heard young carolers in the distance. I'm sorry I didn't get to see my brother, I thought. He has lived in Atlanta for 40 years, but the timing was off. It was years since I saw him and countless years since we played music together, and not very well, in the living room together in Roswell. I wondered if he still has the fiddle Mom got him there at a pawn shop. The angelic voices are finally right in front of me, and it's thrilling. This was not a well-funded musical endeavor, judging from the tattered uniform polo shirts and cheap black trousers they were wearing. There were 5 or 6 violins accompanied by 20 or 30 young girls. The music was well-balanced and heartfelt, and their timing was exquisite. I was happy to have enough time to hear one more tune before making my connection from Atlanta to Houston. Oh no, I said to myself as I teared up, not that song. I'll Be Home for Christmas has always choked me up. It was my father's favorite, yearning as he did those years to be with us while laying pipeline in the Sahara Desert or the Amazon jungle. It seemed to be a minor miracle. I found Louise's car and the keys to it through the haze of exhaustion. Before she flew to Virginia, my roommate, to spend the holiday with her boyfriend, we agreed she would leave the car at the George Bush International Airport so I could pick up our puppies on the way home. Sheets of rain pounded the Lexus. I carefully navigated to West University. I got so dizzy I had to pull over. My heart was racing and my face was flushed. Finally making it in the house, in the warm and cozy living room of the townhouse, overjoyed Scarlett leapt while blind George Gershwin slowly pirouetted with a smile on his face. My gentle, furry friends were a welcome sight after such a long, strange day, as was the warmth of the peaceful home. The weakness and lack of orientation was so profound I called my friend Josephine. Josie, I know this isn't much notice, but I really don't think I can make it back out to the airport to pick up Louise. Could you please? I guess she sensed the vulnerability in my voice because she gently replied, Of course, no problem. What's her flight number? I curled up with the puppies to listen to the radio and thank God for my many blessings. I'll Be Home for Christmas found my ears again. Oh, Daddy, I feel you near me, and this time I was actually able, for the first time ever, to sing along without choking up, and a profound and gentle safety net swept over me. At precisely the last note of the song, my sister called from San Antonio. It's about Mom, she gently said. Is she okay, I asked. Oh, yes, honey, she's fine. Her waiting is over. She died today, but wait until you hear how she left us. She had just finished her lunch and closed her eyes and was gone. We realized that 25 years earlier, her mother had left this planet in exactly the same manner. Granny Emma was writing my sister a letter at her kitchen table right after lunch. When the mailman came by, he saw her through the screen door sitting there with her head on her chest. True to character, she often thought of others in their time of need. Granny had written to my sister, who was having challenges in her marriage, quote, Sometimes men just don't understand, end quote. And the D at the end of understand had a slight downward scroll to it, apparently when my grandmother's pen left her hand and fell to the floor. The winter weeks since my mother's death were unlike any I had ever known. She was almost 93, had been through heart attacks and strokes, hip surgeries, and diabetes for almost 20 years. The shock to me initially was not that she had passed away, but that she has lived as long as she did, and I was oh so grateful. These days, it seems people are so unhappy and restless, with a constant searching for the next therapy or medication, exercise, or essential oil which will give them peace. My mother was that rare person who personified in every situation and challenge in life surrender and trust in a higher power. I often reflect in reverent awe on the last time I saw my mother's face. In June, the same year, as I walked toward the door of the nursing home to leave, I could feel her gaze at my back. I turned and was stunned at the lack of sagging in the jowls, and her soft brown eyes were ablazing with a heavenly fire. She honestly looked 25 years old. I love you, she mouthed with that gentle smile we had all come to know and treasure. As I walked away, I knew without a doubt that would be the last time I would see her. If there's one profound lesson for me to follow from my mother's life, it is to surrender and trust, and know that spiritual beauty is the one true beauty, that which is everyone's for the taking, if they allow it to inflame their hearts and souls. That's it. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
That was very good. That was very good.
Thank you. It's a true story. So, any comments from the peanut gallery?
It's it's hard to, it's one thing to read a story like that. It's another thing to have the person who wrote it and lived it tell it to you, because you could tell during that whole thing where you had a hard time going through it, because it's understandable, of course.
Well, that's life. Some things, not every day is a sunny day, but oh boy, she's around. She was an amazing person.
Mm-hmm.
And I've met so many people in my life, honestly, that have never known a mother's love. And so that's why I want to get the stories out there to know, just to let them know it really does exist. I'm a real person. And whenever I'm in doubt, I think, what would Mom do? She was an astonishing person. I mean, courageous and funny and smart. And
well, we know she passed it on to her daughters as well.
Well, that's sweet. Thank you. And he's not even getting paid to say that. Anyway, I'm curious about your feedback on this particular episode. Please, 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 if you get a minute, write some comments.
Why don't you tell us about a story with your own mother?
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be fun. That'd be fun to look at.
We might start a group therapy thing. It could go viral.
We'll definitely read any comments that are put in with this video. We definitely want to see anybody who has any stories or any similar experiences that has transpired with them. And you know what? If this keeps going well, we definitely want to tell more stories like this as well.
Oh, yeah. I've got a lot of stories. I've been around a while.
Even 25 years, everybody has enough stories for that.
Yeah.
So, thank you all for listening. And,
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Have a great day.
And all that jazz. Bye.